Right now, deep inside your WordPress root directory, there is a single, outdated file silently answering requests from the open web. Hackers use it as a high-speed backdoor to bypass standard security. In this tutorial, we are going to look at exactly how attackers exploit this file, test if your site is actively exposed, and walk through 2 separate methods to close this backdoor permanently. To follow along with the first and easiest method, all you need is administrator access to your WordPress dashboard. By taking 5 minutes to lock down this specific pathway, you remove an automated target from your server and force attackers to look elsewhere. The file in question is called xml-rpc.php. Modern WordPress relies on the REST API to communicate with outside applications. That makes XML-RPC an obsolete legacy component, left active entirely for backward compatibility with older tools. Because it remains active by default, attackers target a specific feature inside it called the System.MultiCall method. This diagram shows the difference between a normal attack and a multi-call attack. On the left, a standard brute force script tries to guess your password at the main login page. Your firewall sees a failed attempt and immediately locks them out. Now look at the right side. Using System.MultiCall, an attacker bundles hundreds of password guesses into a single HTTP request. Looking like one standard transmission, it slips past the firewall, then bursts open inside your server, testing hundreds of passwords at once. Because all those attempts traveled inside a single request, they leave only a single entry in your server's access logs. The attack is practically invisible. This schematic illustrates a secondary threat, pingback amplification. Hackers send forged ping requests to thousands of vulnerable WordPress sites, tricking them into verifying a link. Those innocent sites then funnel all that traffic into a massive wave that overwhelms a single victim server. If you rely strictly on plugins that limit login attempts at your standard /wp-login.php page, your site remains entirely exposed to these XML-RPC exploits. Step 1 is diagnosing your site. Open your web browser, type in your website domain, and add /xml-rpc.php to the very end of the URL. This image shows exactly what to look for. If you hit enter and see the plain text message, XML-RPC server accepts post requests only, your file is active and accepting connections. Closing this is straightforward. Log into your WordPress dashboard, navigate to the plugins repository, and search for Disable XML-RPC by Philip Erb. Click Install, and then activate. That is the entire process. This specific plugin applies a filter to reject XML-RPC requests immediately, requiring absolutely zero manual configuration to work. If you already run a comprehensive security suite like WordFence or Solid Security, you don't even need a new plugin. You can achieve the exact same result by finding the XML-RPC toggle in their advanced settings and turning it off. This plugin method effectively instructs the WordPress application to drop malicious requests. However, because it operates at the software level, your server still has to expend CPU and memory resources to process that initial hit. To stop the traffic before it ever touches your WordPress application, we have to block it at the server level. For this step, open your hosting control panel or file manager. Navigate to your primary WordPress root directory, the exact same folder that holds your wp-config.php file, and locate the htaccess file. Look at this interface. Editing server files carries a high risk of bringing down your site if a syntax error occurs. You must download a backup of your htaccess file to your local machine before making a single change. Once your backup is safely stored, open the htaccess file in your text editor and prepare to paste new code. This is the exact code block required for modern Apache servers. We have placed this text in the description for you to copy. The critical instruction here is require all denied, which forces the server to refuse any connection attempting to access the file. Paste the code, save your changes, and close the file manager. By deploying this htaccess rule, malicious bot traffic hits a brick wall at the server layer. It instantly terminates the connection, completely preserving your website's CPU and memory resources. Let's verify the defense is holding. Return to the browser tab where you entered your /xmlrpc.php URL and refresh the page. This comparison shows a successful lockdown. Instead of the active server message on the left, you should now see a 403 forbidden or 404 not found error. Your file is fully blocked. In rare cases, if you use a legacy desktop publishing app or an older Jetpack feature that suddenly stops working, you will need to whitelist your specific IP address. We've provided the alternative code snippet for that process in the description below. Congratulations on neutralizing one of the most heavily exploited backdoors in the WordPress ecosystem. Proactive security means looking past simple passwords. By manually deleting the outdated pathways that automated attackers rely on, you keep your server lean, fast, and